Hello everyone, Gainer here from HDB Upgrading Strategies and welcome back to my Facebook Live and today is episode 3535, right? And today actually in fact I have a very interesting topic which is a new topic because I've been doing Facebook Live videos since last year. And over the years, I've been assisting a lot of different clients, over their upgrading, and also their property investments, stuff like that. And I also have done a lot of different videos and blogs as well. So that's why I think today this topic is really about, sharing about my clients' property case study. And in fact, today I'm really very honored to be able to seek permission from my clients, especially these two couples, which is Jaysen and Apple, and also Darren and Andrea, and I'm able to feature them in this sharing as well. So once again, for people who are tuning into my Facebook Live, if you guys can hear me loud and clear, please give me a like, and especially this is a Facebook, probably just give me some comments, or if you can share with your friends as well. That would be great, right? If you guys can hear me loud and clear, please probably give me some thumbs up and some love, right? Right. Hi Ken, right? I saw your message, right? I saw your comments, right? Okay, once again, for those starting to tune in, this is my Facebook Live episode 35. So today I'll be sharing with you guys something really interesting, which is my client's property case study. And today I actually have the great opportunity, and I also have to thank them for featuring two of my clients, and which is Jaysen and Apple, and also Darren and Andrea, right? Which I will share with you guys a few their case study, and I'll talk about their concerns, stuff like that. Okay, so without further ado, let me proceed, right? Okay, so why am I sharing about this, right? Because I think it's also timely for me to take this opportunity, especially in this Facebook Live, to thank them and thank all of my clients throughout my years that I've assisted. And this topic will I will probably at sometimes I will also feature some of my different clients, and that's why I want to take this opportunity to also thank them for allowing me to feature them as well, right? And also to share about their journey, their concerns, and what are the recommendations at the end that I actually provide to them. And so that you guys, especially tuning into my Facebook Live, you can probably benefit from this, because if you are also going through, you have some concerns that can be very similar to theirs, right? Stuff like that. Probably you can learn and benefit from this live video that I'm sharing right now. Okay? So thank you so much. So I'm going to proceed now. Okay, so first of all, my client, first, I'll be talking about them, Jaysen and Apple, right? Really thankful for them for allowing me to feature them, right? So just a little bit of background about this client. They actually stayed in Adora Green, which is a DBSS 5-room, right? One thing I just also want to take this opportunity to touch about this particular property, which is DBSS. I want to sidetrack a little bit, right? I'm not too sure whether those if you guys are tuning in to watch my videos, if you are also staying in a DBSS. Now there are a few DBSS I probably feel that there can be a small concern, especially those staying in Park Lane, Hougang, or probably those staying in Pasir Ris 1, which is in Pasir Ris, and also maybe in Adora Green as well. So a little bit about what is DBSS. DBSS is actually a hybrid between a HDB and a private property, right? But it is not a private property. Why? Because you don't have the facilities, you don't even have the gantry, right? You don't have the the security, and you don't have the facilities for in a proper condominium, right? That's why DBSS is actually the rules under HDB, but is built by a developer. So what do you get, right? Probably you will get all your stuff like kitchen is done up, probably your aircon is done up, the wardrobes, the flooring, stuff like that. So these are things that are done by the developer. But having said that, of course, the price can be a little bit of the premium. But of course, the government has already stopped building DBSS. And that's why I think at the end of the day, it's also, depends on how you look at it. But I just want to say that currently, the DBSS that I've seen, not those of previously that is built like, the pig, stuff like that. Those people probably make a huge, I'm not too sure whether huge, but they definitely made some profits out of it. But the newer ones like the DBSS in Adora Green or probably in Park Lane, Hougang, Pasir Ris one, stuff like that. Probably the price is a little bit high and the profits may not be there, right? So this is something I thought I want to sidetrack and touch a little bit about DBSS, right? But anyway, for my clients, Jaysen and Apple, they actually stay in Adora Green DBSS. And they have been exploring about doing upgrading, right? They have been exploring about upgrading, I think probably since last year, right? And then I met them this year, right? So first of all, what their first number one concern when I met them to have a discussion with them? The first concern I think is definitely they want to stay near parents. And I think that this is also, very common to a lot of HDB homeowners, especially when you currently are staying in this place and you want to upgrade. And one of your main concerns is because you want to stay near parents, especially if you have kids. You want your kids to help you to take care of, you need your parents to help to take care of your kids as well, right? I know of a couple who stays in Waterway Terrace in Punggol, right? They actually, they bought a HDB at Waterway Terrace, but the problem is that their parents stay in Jurong, right? So every time they need to ferry early in the morning, they need to ferry their kids, from Punggol all the way to Jurong, and then in the night, ferry their kids back from Jurong to Punggol. So it's very, very tedious. So I can understand. So definitely, now if you are someone who wants to upgrade, I think one of the concern is you also want to find a private property that is near to your parents, right? So this is one of their main concern, right? The second concern, which is also a very common concern, which is of course when you want to upgrade, you also would like to look for a property, the next property with a good potential upside, right? So that is also something that a lot of HDB upgraders or a lot of private property investors, they definitely want to find a property with a good potential upside. So these are the two main concerns that Jaysen and Apple has or have, right? So during that time, right, because of their concerns, right, what are the property options that they are actually looking at, right? They're actually looking at Park Canberra, a 5-bedroom EC. Park Canberra EC actually, if I'm not wrong, they launched this year. I also brought some of my clients. I also brought my client to buy a Park Canberra EC. And Jaysen and Apple also, they have this, they also would like to look for a bigger place because they are currently staying in a 5-room at Adora Green, right? So they want to buy a 5-bedroom EC at Park Canberra, which is launched this year, right? But we have some problems, right? One of the problems for ECs is you need to pay a huge cash upfront for EC. Now, for those who are not too sure about ECs, right? ECs or HDB, the loan you are based on 30% MSR. What is MSR? Is mortgage servicing ratio, right? So it's 30% of your gross salary. So taking for example, if you earn, both husband and wife, you earn $10,000 per month, you can only get 30% out of this $10,000, which is $3,000 to calculate your loan, right? So your loan amount will string quite a lot. So that's the problem when people wants to buy EC. So for new, for new buyers, right? New buyers, first-time property buyers, if you want to look for EC, generally, if you don't have enough funds, especially your CPF, and you couldn't get a lot of loan, you need to top up a lot of cash, right? So that's why you can only get a smaller size, the smaller size EC, stuff like that. So I will also be talking about this MSR and TDSR. TDSR is a total debt servicing ratio, which is only for private, which you can get 60% of your loan. So if you are earning 10,000, you can get 6,000, right? To use 6,000 to base on that to calculate your loan, right? I will be touching about this topic sooner, right? And I will share with you what are the difficulties, stuff like that. But never mind, we'll just proceed from here. So one of the problems if they want to buy a Park Canberra 5-bedroom EC, because the EC, I think 5-bedroom will cost around 1.5 over million. I'm not too sure whether it reached to 1.6, but it's around that price, right? Price range. So can you imagine if the loan-wise couldn't stretch a lot, and if you don't have a lot of CPF, your cash would need a lot. So that's why one of their problem is they need a huge cash upfront for EC, right? And of course, the second thing is, just by looking one property itself, they may not be really very sure whether that is the best option for them, right? So they are really exploring to see what are the better ones for them to finally make a decision. Sorry. That's why recently I wrote a blog, right? I wrote a blog by myself, right? It's about the importance of having a second opinion. So a lot of people, probably you have been finding properties, but you may not be able to find, or probably it's only your first property and you're not too sure whether you want to step inside. And that's why it's also important to have a second opinion, so that you can understand whether are you on the right track or you are not on the right track, stuff like that, right? So that's the thing. They have a huge cash upfront problem, and probably whether that would be the best option for them as well, right? So for them, after I met them, I actually did some recommendation to them, and I do understand that their budget during that time, they are able to go all the way to probably about 1.6 million. And I actually shared with them another area, right? Another area which is a surrounding project. So not about Sembawang. I actually brought them out of Sembawang and to look at what are the properties that they can invest and stay as well today in Singapore, right? And we talk about one of the new launches in the city area, right? And I do understand the fact that their budget is around $1.6 million. So that's why with that, I actually know I shortlisted and I showed them a project. There's the project that I wanted to recommend to them. And surrounding this project, right? There is this, now what you see in the screen is one of a transaction. And you can really see this 915 square feet, right? It costs around 2.3 to 2.4 million for a 3-bedroom. So meaning to say, the project that I want to share with them, that I recommend them, is a 3-bedroom, and based on that, they can only afford probably a 1.6 million during that time when I first met them. And I showed to them that surrounding projects, there are 3-bedrooms that are selling or that are sold for 2.3 or 2.4 million. And the current project that I recommend to them, the cheapest unit is actually 1.6 plus million for a 3-bedroom. So if you can see and if you can understand where I'm coming from, meaning to say, if today they buy this property, the cheapest 3-bedroom and 1.6 plus million, and surrounding projects are selling around, and around 915 square feet, they are selling 2.3, 2.4 million. Now, this is important. Why? Because this is your potential upside. Meaning to say, if you buy 1.6 today in this area and surrounding is selling 2.3, and there is a huge potential that you can gain, right? That's why, apart from this budget of 1.6, they could have bought a 5-bedroom EC at Park Canberra, right? But in Sembawang, probably, we couldn't make a lot of huge comparison because maybe there are not a lot of properties with so much of a big difference, right? So you have to step out. And the best part is they are willing to explore, right? They are willing to explore what are the properties around which they can look at, Because some of my clients, they probably, there are some clients who no matter what, you just cannot get out of your estate. So we can only zoom down to whatever that's available there. But for them, they have this flexibility. That's why I bring them up and show to them that this is something that they can look at. Okay? And there's also another surrounding project, which is a resale. Right? I screenshot this. Now you can see that this is a 1-bedroom, right? 1-bedroom. And you can look at the 1-bedroom is actually transacted around 1.4, 1.5 and 1.7 million. And the cheapest 3-bedroom that I recommend them is 1.6. Can you imagine that the 1-bedroom size of 689 square feet has already transacted in this year, January, at 1.7 over million, and today you're buying a 3-bedroom, new launch, new project at around 1.6 plus million. So we can see that the potential is quite huge at that area, right? And even, of course, smaller size 1 bedroom is already 1.4, 1.5 million. And today you're still buying a 3 bedroom and this. And that's why today I think this is really important, because I want to share with you what are the process of how I recommend some of the properties for my clients, so that they will understand what they are buying and whether there is a good potential as well. Right? So of course they follow my recommendations. I thank them as well, and they bought a 3 bedroom condo at city area, right? And of course their problem is solved. They don't require a huge cash upfront for their EC, right? And of course they got a better property, right? Which has a much better potential upside, right? So this is Jaysen and Apple, and of course during this process of helping them to hunt for the properties, share with them about financially whether they can afford, and also I also did assist them with the selling of their property, because this is a whole process from the planning to the buying with the financials to finding the right property, and also helping them with the sale of the property, because you need the sale of the property to have the funds so that you can use it to purchase your private property as well. So of course, thank God, their property is sold within 1 viewing, and also there is COV. And I mean, the buyer is willing to pay, because one thing my client Jaysen and Apple, one thing I also have to, applaud them. They really have a good taste in terms of design. You can see now these are the pictures of their current property. And they really know how to take care of their place. They really know how to decorate their place as well. And of course, I also, I'm so glad that they participated in my video marketing. They are also in my video marketing as well. And if you want to take a look, you can go to my Facebook page or my YouTube, or even my Instagram, where, the video for the sale of their place is there. And they are also, I'm glad that they assisted me in that as well. So of course, this is sold in 1 viewing. Thank God that they also managed to, their place is really well kept. With the design is really so different from the rest, right? Okay, the next couple that I really want to thank is also these two. I mean, Darren and Andrea, right? Really, also have to say a big appreciation to them, because they also assisted in me, helping me to take those photos, those corporate photos with me as well. So really thank them. And a little bit background about them. They actually stayed in Buangkok area, which is a new area now. Buangkok, if you're not too familiar, where is that area? Of course, it's Buangkok MRT, and now they are building this new residential with shopping mall as well, right? So, but that place is probably a little bit quite pricey. But of course, if you're buying that place, we really have to look at it and really have to explore whether would that be a good investment option for you, right? So for Darren and Andrea, they actually stayed in a 5-room flat, and they are actually quite simple, because when Darren contacted me, one thing is that they were also looking to explore what is their next property options, because they bought their first HDB as a BTO flat. So they also mix, of course, like all BTO HDB homeowners, the first property you already have some potential gains, right? It's only the matter of whether you want to realize your gains or you probably are not, right? So for them, they actually want to realize their profits by selling. And their next concern is they are exploring what is the next property option that they can park their money aside and also buy for own stay, right? So of course, their first concern is definitely they want to find a property investment which is of course with a good potential upside. But of course, one of their concern is, I think they, if I'm not wrong, they probably won't be exploring too far away, like Tampines or Pasir Ris, stuff like that. So they, of course, they also do. If I'm not wrong, if I can still recall, right? If they are still here, probably they can just give me some comments whether am I right or I'm not right, right? Okay. By the way, for my clients that I featured you guys, if you are hearing me, if you want to participate, you just say hi, right? But never mind, it's okay, right? So for Darren and Andrea, right, more or less they are looking for property investment. And what are their property options? Actually, in fact, when I met them, their investment objectives was really, really very clear, right? So long as I can recommend something for them within their budget, they are happy to go along and of course want to explore, right? So my recommendation to them, their budget was actually looking to buy a 900 plus thousand, and of course I recommend an EC to them, right? Based on their current budget, right? And of course it is not just by recommending any EC, right? Of course, I need to do some research, and hopefully I can, use that research and understand whether at the end of the day, is it really a good purchase for them. So I actually looked at the surrounding projects. Now you can see the surrounding projects, this is the size 1044 square feet, which is a 3-bedroom. And you can see that the transacted prices already in March, February, January this year is already 1.2 to 1.2 over million. Of course, we are not looking at this 1.5 million because the size is 1,300 over square feet. This is probably a 4-bedroom, right? So you can see that the surrounding resale projects is already transacted at around 1.2 to and above, right, for the 1044 square feet. Now, of course, having said that, the ECs, the 900 over 1,000, the size is, their size is not 1044 square feet. Theirs is a compact. Theirs is actually a little bit smaller, right? But I want to let them understand that the prices around there is already 1.2 over million, right? Another surrounding project, I take another project. This is a 990 square feet. You can see that the 990 square feet in this year is already transacted at around 1.1 over million. And their budget to buy the EC is 900 plus $1,000. So you can see a huge potential difference whereby if my clients buy this 900 plus thousand, there is a potential that the price will increase in the future as well. Okay. Now, I just want to share with you this floor plan. Now, this floor plan is the 1044 square feet that I showed you. You can see that the size is, of course, bigger, right? Living and dining, you have a balcony, and of course, they have a yard, they have a bomb shelter, and they have a kitchen, right? Then there goes why the price is justified to pay 1.2 to 1.2 over million for a 3-bedroom premium unit, right? But at least I want to show to you that the prices has already been transacted like that. So let me give you an example. If today you want to buy a new project and you see that the surrounding projects, the size is bigger, is a premium, but their prices is around maybe 900 plus thousand, and you're buying a new launch 3-bedroom compact at 900 plus thousand as well, right? So if you see such prices, you probably just have to be careful. There are many other factors to determine whether it will be a good buy eventually, but of course you just have to be careful because technically speaking, it should be like that if you understand where I'm coming from. If you guys understand, if you guys have been hearing what I mentioned, you probably just give me some comments, yes, no, give me some thumbs up or love, and I will greatly appreciate, especially now it's Facebook Live. If you can share, comment, like, I will greatly appreciate as well. Okay, so the next one, this is the floor plan of the 990 square feet, right? And the price is also around 1.1 plus, right? 1.1 plus, and this is a 3-bedroom compact, right? Previously, I also did a Facebook Live episode. I'm not too sure which episode I did about this, about different, now these days people don't mind buying smaller units, which is a different, like not the traditional type, but the new concept type. So what do I mean by new concept? New concept means properties like a 2-bed, 1 toilet. Traditional one is 2-bed, 2 toilet. The new concept is 3-bed, 2-bed, 1 toilet, or 3-bedroom compact. Because the traditional one is 3-bedroom premium, right? So now these days you will see a lot of this type of new concept. So the key thing is that if you really take a look, this is a 3-bedroom compact, which is new concept. And it also proven that the new concept also make money as well. You can see that this is 1.990 square feet. The prices has increased to 1.1 plus. You can see that the compact is a compact because there's a kitchen here. There's only 2 bathroom, the common bathroom and the master bathroom, and 3-bedroom. There isn't any utility room, there isn't any yard room, stuff like that, or bomb shelter or utility room, stuff like that. And these are people that has already bought, stayed, and they are okay with this size. right? So the thing is that you can see the prices, I did a comparison, and that's why to me, I think that of course they look at a 3-bedroom EC, that is definitely something I think is really worth for them to invest. And of course, if you are very familiar where this place is, this is a 3-bedroom, and this is a Piermont Grand. They bought a 3-bedroom Piermont Grand recently, right? And of course, their problem is solved because their main criteria was to buy a property with a much safer property investment, right? Which is an EC, right? Of course, now these days, there are a few other more ECs that was launched, especially, you know, if you know where I'm coming from. So we just have to be a little bit careful if you want to explore in terms of pricing as well, right? Okay. And also, of course, I also managed to help them with their timeline, especially when I help them to sell their place. Their place is, of course, industrial field, very nice place. But it just took a little bit while. We have a lot of inquiries coming in, and I managed to sell their place in 2-3 months as well. So really appreciate both my clients, Andrea, Darren, and Jaysen and Apple, for helping me with this case study, property case study sharing with you guys, right? Of course, I want to share with this, the very last slide that I want to share is this. A lot of people probably may not know about the process, right? The first thing, if I have the opportunity to meet you guys, right? And of course, the first meetup is really very important, which is understanding your objectives, right? And then eventually we need to understand the financials, which is your budget, you know, stuff like that. And lastly, of course, this is the most important, which is finding the right property investment. So this whole process is in line with whoever that I meet, especially with all my clients. So if you guys are looking to explore upgrading or looking to, you know, understand a little bit more about investing of properties, then this is really very important, because for me, understanding the objective is extremely important, right? Which is here, because some people are not too sure whether what should they do. Should they just upgrade, buy a resale? Should they upgrade to buy a new launch, you know? And whether their financials, can they buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, you know, stuff like that. And eventually, this is the most important thing, which I highlight in red, which is finding the right property investment. So this is the process that I will go through with all my clients so that you guys will understand. Right, lastly, of course, I want to take this opportunity to thank my client as well, and I also want to leave this to the ground. If you guys are listening, whether you have any questions, and probably I can answer you as well. Okay, so now I'm looking at the comments session, right? Of course, Dave, you're asking if bought old flat less than 48 years old, will my old HDB be en bloc? If not, what will happen? Okay, Dave, thanks for tuning in. Of course, this has been a lot of, I've been meeting clients as well previously, throughout, who has been staying in the old flats as well, right? The question whether will it get en bloc, I think en bloc is not the word, it should be SERS, it should be under government. The question is whether government wants your land, right? That's important. If of course they want your land, then you strike jackpot, right? If government doesn't want your land, then that is an issue, right? Of course, one of the critical issue is that your lease, which is 48 years less, that is a very old flat. I'm not too sure whether you are referring to 48 years old or remaining 48 years. So probably I think you left, if you are saying left for 50 over years, so yeah. So if your lease is getting lesser and lesser, one thing for sure, I can only say is that the price may not be going upwards. It shouldn't be. I cannot be right. I just want to say, because this is Facebook Live, there's no right or wrong answer. Because there are definitely people who probably believe in HDB prices going up, right? I also understand that. But if the lease is going down, one thing we have to understand, whether will there be future buyers buying from you. First thing first, definitely youngsters, young couples, probably they won't want to buy a very old flat, unless the very first main concern, which I highlighted during, if I'm not wrong, Jaysen and Apple, one of their main concern was staying near parents. Now, if that is a concern, then of course you will be able to sell to this group of buyers, right? Else, if youngsters don't buy, then elderly probably will buy because they downgrade. and only old flats the price goes if prices really goes down, then they can afford. There's this I already answered Dave Wu's question, right? Jasper, I also actually answered your question as well. You actually asked me, would you think ECs are still value for money as recent prices have all exceeded more than $1,000 per square foot, and the price difference between EC and a full condo is not that big now, right? I think for this, I actually keyed the answer for you. I think at the end of the day, we still have to do some comparison. I can't say that, of course I do understand that some of the current ECs the prices has already gone up above $1,000 per square foot. Like, what is your main concern? I think it's also important for us to still do some projects comparison, to surrounding comparison, to understand whether is it still a good buy or not a good buy. Just like what I did for Darren and Andrea. They actually bought an EC, so I also think that I also want them to buy the right property. That's why I did some comparison, and when I feel that it's safe, I will ask them to look at it as well. So I think at the end of the day, you still have to do comparison, and then you'll be able to understand. All right. So far, you guys are still with me. If you are, probably just give me some comments, give me some likes or some love. I'm still at this Q&A, right? And if you guys have any questions, I can still help you guys to answer, right? And there's this Gabriel. Gabriel actually asked me whether I mentioned in one of my case study because there's a COV that I sold for Jaysen and Apple's property, right? There's a COV. So after that, you asked me whether could you share quickly what happens after that, right? If you're still inside, I'm not too sure what you meant by that, but I actually answered you. I think what you meant is that did the buyer actually eventually exercise or not, right? In fact, the buyer exercised and actually bought the place, and we are now actually going for the completion already, right? So with that, so far, these are the questions I've seen in my this post, right? Because you asked me initially. So just last final call. Would anyone still have any questions that you want to ask me? Else probably I'll end this Facebook Live episode 35, right? I'm looking at the comments session. If you guys don't have them, probably I'll end this episode. I really apologize, for just now, right? But anyway, thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you guys enjoy this topic, right? Which is my episode 35, where I touch about my client's property case study, right? With that, thank you so much. You guys have a great day. Stay safe and have a happy weekend. Goodbye. Thank you. Bye-bye.